What up, what up, what up? This is Dustin Coyle. These are going to be intelligent thoughts. This is the Daily Wager. I think we're doing Monday, what is April maybe 10th? April 10th, guess that one. 2017, of course. I'm happy to be here with you guys after what felt like a pretty long 2 days off. Feels like I haven't done this in forever. Happy to be back. Saw that the listens are starting to pick up, so that's awesome. Got shelled on Friday. Saturday made a little bit of money. How about that UFC shit? Anybody watch that UFC shit? Good God. I lost money on Weidman. That was a weird thing. But pretty fun overall weekend, I guess. But I'm back with you on a Monday. Baseball season in full swing now, about a week in. It's been pretty interesting. We're going to start talking about that a little bit more, coming up here. Probably not today, but, maybe this week sometime. But enough about this. Let's start today's show. NBA talk. How about it, huh? Same shit every time. 9 games in the jump. Most teams have 2 games left. I think almost every team has 2 games left, actually. From what I'm looking at, every single team I see here has 2 games remaining. So we'll just consider that to be the case. We're going to start with 5 o'clock game. We have the number 7 seed, a game ahead of the 8 and 9 teams. I think a game worse than the number 6 team. We got the Indiana Pacers, 40-40, at the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, the Sixers have shut down a few of their players and generally have nothing to play for tonight. They do still have good quality players, though. It's just, they don't have a whole lot to play for. Let's look at the preview here. It looks like the plethora of injuries will be sort of going on again for the 76ers. TJ McConnell even says right here, was just talking about how they've been plagued by injuries worse than any team in the league, and I do have to agree. Rashad Holmes, is that his name? Rashad? God damn it, where's he at? Rashawn Holmes. Back-to-back double-doubles, second-year center, so that'll be an interesting bright spot. They have a lot of centers there with Embiid, Okafor, Rashad Holmes. It's pretty understandable why they got rid of Nerlens Noel, who's good. He's but they only have so many pieces, and if they have anybody that is interested, that other teams are interested in, it obviously makes sense to get the piece out of them if you think you can just plug in double machines. So that's pretty good. However, they don't have a whole lot otherwise bright going for them right now. For the Pacers, they're going to be. Apparently, Al Jefferson, with the sprained left ankle, he'll be in uniform, most likely. He has been the past 2 games, but hasn't played. Basically, just if they need him. I think that's probably going to be the case tonight, but they say unless they need him, he won't play until the playoffs. And then it looks like Glenn Robinson III is still going to be out with the left calf strain. The Pacers, with Paul George, he looks like he's kind of on a next level now, 37 points the other day. Miles Turner played great against Orlando. I expect Paul George to probably put up a 25-plus point performance today. Carry the team to a victory would be my expectation. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the spread. All right, we got a 9-point favorite in the Indiana Pacers. I think that's probably a little bit high. Obviously, ain't nobody putting any money on Philadelphia. Anytime recently, minus 540 on the money line. I like the Pacers to get the win. I don't know about the money line, though. It's not good odds, obviously. I think that if they played 4 times, they wouldn't win all 4. But, of course, money line only matters when you win as an underdog or when you lose as a favorite. That's really the only time the number matters. Otherwise, it's just a mark in the book. I'd say we wait around and see if this doesn't come back down to an under 400, like a minus 380 or something like that. But go ahead and take the Pacers. I think that, like I just said, Paul George is going to dominate. They don't really have anybody that can D him up, and I think he's just playing well at the right time. He's a superstar. And he pretty much has to battle because they're in a battle for the playoffs still. They're the 7 seed right now, but they could easily be the number 9 seed in 2 or 3 days. So let's go ahead and wait on that, and then look at taking Anna. All right, moving on. We got some 5:30 games. The game number 1, Brooklyn at the tied for the number 1 seed, but technically number 2 seed Boston Celtics. Basically, it kind of is what it is at this point. If Boston wins 2 games, both of their last 2 games, and Cleveland loses 1, Boston will be the number 1 seed. If they have the same record, it'll be Cleveland, and obviously vice versa, it'll be Cleveland. So they have quite a bit to play for. I do believe that they should be pretty heavily favored in this game. And it looks like everybody for both teams is going to be available. I'm pretty sure you guys can guess who I'm going to pick here. The team that's much better at home, and so is everybody else. Minus 10.5, money line minus 700, plus 535 for Brooklyn. I might look at parlaying that with something a little bit later. That's definitely the highest money line spread of the evening, which isn't terrible. We've been seeing minus 2,000 on Saturday. I actually put $1 on fucking a whole dollar. I put $1 on the Pelicans plus what was it, 11.75, just because that seemed ridiculous. Seemed like a minor investment for a weird possibility that could outcome. But we're going to try to take that Boston Celtics parlay. I don't know if they win by 11 or whatever, but let's go ahead and try to take that money line parlay with something else. We'll wait on it. Moving on to maybe the most interesting or one of the more interesting matchups, Cleveland at Miami. Miami, I think they have the same record as the Bulls, but the Bulls have the tiebreaker, so they're the 8th seed, Miami the 9th seed. And then both of them just 1 game behind Indiana for the 7th seed, I believe. Yes, we just talked about that a minute ago. Cleveland gave, so last night, how about they, entering the 4th quarter at the Hawks, they were up by 26 points. The Hawks outscore them by 26 in the 4th quarter, forced to overtime, and then even come back from behind a little bit in overtime to win the motherfucking game by 1 point. LeBron has a triple-double. Kyrie, I think, had 47 points. What an incredible game that was. And today they have to rebound and play the Heat in Miami. And if the Heat lose tonight, they could be eliminated from playoff contention. If Chicago wins and the Heat lose, I think it's over for them. But if they win, then we keep moving forward for at least one more day. So they obviously have quite a bit to play for. It's not telling me if they're going to have Dion Waiters back. I can't tell right now. But what looks like it is possible that LeBron and Kyrie or others may sit. So it's pretty tough to really take the spread into consideration. But right now, it's a Miami is 4.5, minus 4.5. And the money line is a Cavs are plus 160, Miami minus 180. Basically, you know what I'm doing here. Just wait every 17 minutes. Just search and see if LeBron and Kyrie, or see who's going to play against the Heat. If LeBron's playing, take the Cavs plus 160. That's a good money. Even odds would be pretty fair for that if LeBron is going to play. So I think that's pretty solid. Go ahead and wait on that. If he's not going to play, even if it were Kyrie and Caleb and all that, I think I might stay away from the game just because I think they're 0-7 without LeBron this season. And I don't know. I just don't know what I'm going to see. I think that we're going to see a good fight from Miami today. So LeBron is kind of the X factor for me. All right, moving on. We got some 6 o'clock games. We have another team in the playoff position we just talked about in the Chicago Bulls at home, hosting the Orlando Magic. Dwayne Wade was back the other day. Looked pretty good. They did blow a 10-point lead, though, in the 4th quarter. Or a 9-point lead in the 4th quarter on Saturday night against the Nets, which is obviously pretty shitty. Um, yeah, Dwayne had 14 that night, played 25 minutes. Then it looks like Rondo is going to be questionable due to that sprained wrist that I think he suffered on Tuesday against the Knicks. Basically, the Bulls, I would expect. I guess, we're going to see an increased workload for Dwayne Wade, not surprising. Jimmy Butler is what he is. He had 33 against the Nets on Saturday. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the spread. We have. Sorry, I had to pause and I lost my train of thought. But the Bulls are 8.5-point favorites. Pretty similar to that Pacers number, which is actually spread to a minus 475 now, so it's gone the other way. Man, that's not too. It's kind of weird. I think actually, I don't know. We'll talk about it later at some point. But I have an interesting strategy for just guaranteeing money as a return. But looking at Chicago, holy shit, diesels. Minus 415 for Chicago at home, plus 345 for Orlando on the road, which I think is weird because I think that the 76ers have a better chance of beating Indiana than the Bulls have of losing to the Mage. But weirder things have happened in my life. I'm looking to take that 415 for Chicago and just kind of roll home with it. All right, let's move on. More 6 o'clock shit. Bucks host Hornets. Hornets are out. Bucks are 6. A game behind number 5 Atlanta. A game ahead number 7 Indiana. 2 games ahead of number 8 and 9 Chicago and Miami. Let's take a look. Chris Middleton's been playing really well for him. Stepped up with the Jabari Parker absence. And then Giannis is doing Giannis things, which is sweet. Let's go ahead and take a look. So Malcolm Brogdon, he's going to be back. He's missed the past 4 games with some back issues. The rookie out of Virginia, point guard, he's been playing pretty damn well. Averaging 10 points a game, 45% from the field, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, pretty damn good. It's interesting he was just a second-round pick. And the Bucks went 1-3 in his absence, which is pretty interesting as well. I see a little bit of a letdown possibility here after being eliminated from the playoffs for Charlotte at Milwaukee, a team who does have a lot to play for. I do like Milwaukee in this game. And I was just looking at this. Let's see. What's the spriggity? Spread is minus 6.5 for the Bucks. I think that's a little higher than it was earlier. And a minus 300 for the Bucks. I might even parlay the Bucks and the Bulls together, both of them to win. And that should be damn near even money. So, but if not, minus 300 for the Bucks. They're probably gonna get the victory. Charlotte has played well lately, but at this point, they don't have anything to play for. They're on the road. And I would be. I don't know. They're being a young team. I'm not sure what they're going to bring to the table. And then Giannis is probably the best player. He is the best player on the court. So I always like to put a little bit of faith in that person, whoever that person is. Go ahead and take Milwaukee. Probably minus the 300. Good effort tonight. All right, in the final game at the Palace of Auburn Hills, the Detroit Pistons host the Washington Wizards. The Pistons are officially eliminated from the playoffs. That's why this will be the final game in the arena. Washington is officially locked into the 4 seed, and so it's a pretty strong possibility that they're going to sit Wall or Beal or a few players. Bradley Beal did say that he would like to just get into a good streak and play well going into the playoffs. So it's not really sure what's going to happen here. Basically, this is a lot like that Cavaliers situation. I think that if they play all their players, well, first of all, let's take a look at the spread. Pistons minus 3.5, which is going pretty heavily spread for the Pistons. I think I saw it at 1 earlier. And then a minus 160 or a plus 140 for the Wiz. Basically, if you hear, if